Hi, and welcome to another video from Exit Strategy. Please like, subscribe, share the video if you found it helpful, give it a thumbs up, pass it on if you believe someone else would benefit from it. I would appreciate that. I want to talk to you guys about not only the aging narcissist, let's talk about instances where you happen upon a narcissist that you now know is who's a narcissist. And this will happen a lot in life as you have been awakened from not only the narcissist you went through what you went through with. You will be able to identify people who you've known for a long time, and you are happen upon them. Just people generally speaking out and about, family members as well. You will forever be discovering narcissists that you once interacted with, you probably were even friends with, associates, acquaintances, and you will happen upon them and you will see, wow, first of all, you'll determine, man, he's a narcissist, she's a narcissist. And you almost want to say subconsciously, how did I not know? But that's beside the point. That is not even something you entertain anymore because you know how you couldn't have known. Just like you couldn't have known with the narcissist who you were involved with and invested with, who ultimately tried to destroy you. It wasn't your time, but now it is. But more importantly, you happen upon these individuals who you now know who are narcissists, and they're down bad. Not only down bad, their health is failing. And I want to capture something specifically when I talk about health is failing. They could be diagnosed with, and this is just from a visual or a visual of observing them. You can look at them and tell that they are debilitating. I mean, their whole existence is debilitating, not the word, is basically disintegrating, and they're just right in front of your eyes, and you say to yourself, looking at them, their demeanor has not changed. And when I say demeanor, they don't have humility. They are just as hostile if they've been since the last time you knew them. And now it all makes sense, because you know and I know that narcissists don't change their stripe. They get worse, not better. And I'm reflecting on this, guys, because empaths and chosen ones, we have the ability, we have a vast amount of humility once we are confronted with circumstances and situations and experiences. And as a result of that, we're able to introspect and reflect on some things and essentially just change the way we move. You know, we have the ability to entertain change. They don't. They entertain changing for the worse and trying to be more deceitful, more conniving, more manipulative. And they don't wholeheartedly, a lot of them might study how to scheme people. They study that, cut and paste that. But if a narcissist had the wherewithal to take time, and that's the important word, to take the devoted time to sit down and master how not only to manipulate, but to see the thing through and to think subjective and projective. If I do this, if this might happen, but if I do that, this could happen. So I might not want to do that. They're not strategic for the long haul. And that's our blessing, because they have so much going on with so many victims, so many supplies, so many targets. They cannot hold their train of thought as to what their whole protocol was supposed to be with this. They have a Rolodex in their head. And as a brain in our head, we can only consume and absorb a certain amount of knowledge, insight, information. And it comes to a point where certain things are pushed down, pushed out, whereas to make room for more thought process. So our brains is forever recycling and cycling. So that is the reason why they cannot continually keep up that psychological footwork, and they end up losing more often than not in that fight to destroy the person that they're trying to destroy. They end up shooting their own foot off. But back to point, I have came upon these so-said narcissists who I now know are narcissists, and I see them. And if I had to just express how I feel when I happen upon them, wherever I happen upon them, and I see these failing healths, my heart is heavy for that, because that's the humanity in me, in you, and everyone else who is empathetic. But don't get it twisted. Don't fight that feeling. Let that empathy play its course, but don't allow that empathy become passive, naive. Don't allow your empathy and your what do you call it? Your compassion blind you to the point where you feel like you need to jump in. You need to even say something to console. Just observe, be present in the moment. You don't need to fill that space with any words or anything, because you and I now know that some call it karma, some call it God's reckoning, some call it get what you get when you do what you do. You don't want to get what you get, don't do what you do. However you want to word it, we know that we all will get old, we all will age, we all will have health concerns or even health issues that don't function the way that they did when we were 17 years old. So all of these things in mind, we have a knack of being able to introspect and think about our life as a whole. We reflect on our life. We reflect on things we did that might have not been in the best interest of the people around us. We too understand that we've made some mistakes that didn't involve other people. We've wasted a lot of times in many respects, be it drugs, living that La Vida Loca life. And there are some things that we've had to endure as a result of those things. And two, empaths go through medical crises. We have things that happen to us, much like all of humanity. Everybody's not going to be fortunate enough to live to 80, 90 years old, health-free. Carefree with no health issues. But the narcissist is what I wanted to capitalize on in respects to when you see these individuals who now we know are narcissists, undeniably, because of all the insight that we have, both being that we've been abused by one or many, and we also are studying and educating ourselves, and we understand that they move a certain way. Narcissists don't move they move unlike any other human being on planet Earth. There's a certain dialogue that a narcissist has, and it's so scripted that you don't even have to be in tune with the conversation. The conversation could be 10 feet over in the same room, could be 10 feet away, and you could pick up on these certain things. Just like they pick up on you as an empath, they pick up on your tone, your monotones, and different things like that. We too have that ability because we're more observant now. We're more observant, we pay attention more, which is what God intended for us to do. He said, be watchful. He said, test the spirits to see if they're of God. What do you think he meant when he meant that? Because all spirits are not of God. All spirits are not God inspired. They're not God directed. They're not God motivated. And you having that humility and different things, that's God motivated. The devil can't be motivated to be good, do good. He's like Wile E. Coyote. All he's doing is setting traps for people, for Roadrunner to run into. And for the life of me, you don't know why this knucklehead keep doing this. And I grew up watching this for 10, 20 years. I don't know how long that thing ran. All of these silent cartoons, it was good and evil, victim and what do you call it, villain. And so when you see these narcissists, they will be down bad. Their health will be failing, and it will almost break your heart. But this goes to show you, proof is in the pudding, that they cannot change. They cannot change for the better, that is. They're only changing, become more manipulative. And as I said, if they had the brain, or not even the brain, if they had the object constancy, that means to keep their mind on something for long periods of time in order to master it. And this is what we do as empath. We go into our inner space and we are able to introspect and reflect and master self. They haven't mastered their self. They're running from themselves. They're cutting and pasting all these personalities and all these mannerisms, and they're a chameleon. There are many people all rolled into one. This is why when you first meet them, you think they're very creative. You think they're just a baller. You think they're just a go-getter. And all they're doing is trying to impress upon you all of these personalities, but you don't recognize it. Pre-awakening, you didn't recognize it because you just equated them moving around and can't sit still as just a go-getter. And you'll see these people on social media now, and you just say to yourself, how do they do it? Where do they get the energy from? Don't envy these type of individuals. And some, however, may even be empath. And I'll tell that empath who has that insurmountable amount of energy, don't forget to take time for you. You can serve others to the max, and then there won't be anything left for you. But most often when you see these type of individuals, only a few of them, handful of them are actually empaths, because empaths know how to discipline their time. And you will see them do it without even trying. It will just seem so effortless. It will be so effortlessly or effortless when they do it. As opposed to a narcissist, they'll be moving around so fast, your eyes will be like this, will be like a tennis match. And if you're not watchful and careful to pay attention to what's really going on, you'll catch yourself becoming captivated. And then the captivation will lead you into looking up to these people like they are the best thing going. And you will admire them, and they will spark a new eagerness in you, motivation in you. And then you'll find yourself trying to measure your life by these people, not even knowing that these people are they're just great showmen. And behind closed doors, they're falling apart. And you're trying to measure up with them, and you're exhausted. See, a narcissist is exhausted as well, but at the same time, they're not exhausted like an empath, because an empath reflects on the things that they've done throughout the day that makes them exhausted. Narcissists don't have time to reflect on anything. They are moving like that and seemingly having a lot of energy because their energy is derived from the people or the thing that they're drawing from. They need this. This is insulin for them. You don't need to do the things the narcissists do to survive. This is their survival. That's why it masquerades like it's energy. They have this insurmountable amount of energy. They do. They're energy vampires. They're drawing from other people's energy. You and I don't have to draw from other people's energy. We can be in a collective circle, give and share, take and share in conversation, and be exhausted in a real healthy way. What exhausts a narcissist more than anything? Not them drawing your energy, but you sitting still and being straightforward and honest and talking dialogue, true organic dialogue, talking about things that matter. This is what bores them. And you'll see them yawning. They will yawn like 100 times within a minute because it's boring what you're talking about. They have no interest in it. And this is another way you can get them to be quiet as a mouse. They'll be quiet as a mouse when you're doting on all of the positive things, and you have self-assertion. You are self-asserting yourself. You're not in need of their validation. This is what tires the narcissist. But before I close, just pay attention to some of these narcissists who you've seen from the past and didn't know they were narcissists, but now you know they are. because of all the information you have. You'll see in times and instances where their health is failing, if they've been diagnosed with some kind of terminal disease, they will still not have any remorse for anything in life. They will be just as hostile. They will be just as disgruntled, and they will use these ailments and illnesses to actually garner sympathy, to play victim, even on their deathbed. When you think they're apologizing, low-key apologizing, they won't apologize like in words, like I apologize. They'll be like, I could have did, I haven't been the best father, or I haven't been the best mother. I understand that. And you'll have the whole family sitting around bawling their eyes out, but you won't see any tears from that narcissist. They are saying what that family wants to hear. And this is going to garner them sympathy all the way to the grave. This is going to garner them fuel supply all the way until they close their eyes for the last time. I know this is probably hard to hear, because some of you are probably reflecting on some of your loved ones that have came and gone away, and you're thinking, man, that sounds a lot familiar to what I experienced when I was, when my XYZ was coming to their end. Well, make peace with that, because these things are undeniable. They're undisputable. So you have to do this, because what it's going to do is gain you clarity going forward and give you peace with self, to know that you're not to blame. Don't beat yourself up. Don't have this excess guilt about anything, because you're running around for the rest of your life guilt tripping yourself about something that you had nothing to do with. These individuals made their decisions. They made decisions based on other people's lives. They hurt, harmed, and destroyed lives. We've made mistakes. We've hurt people, whether it was purpose or, just circumstantial. We didn't sit back and deliberately, methodically, premeditatively plot on how to hurt people. That's just not the way we move. We have regrets. We have things that we wish we hadn't done to people. But again, when you're going into the shadow integration, you're going to make peace with all of those things as well. So the sooner you get into that mode of shadow integration and getting to know self, the sooner you'll come out on the other side, and you'll be able to see the things that I'm talking about right now are liberating. So you're getting a new lease on life. So just get going with that, and understand that your heartstrings are going to break for these people when you see them, but it has little to nothing to do with you. That being said, bless.